Hello everybody, and welcome back to a new video. I know this video, like the previous ones, is a little bit overdue, but today I will be giving my WandaVision episode 8 review, and obviously we know that there wasn't an extra episode. We know episode 9 is going to be the finale, sadly. Also, to whoever started that rumor that the last 3 episodes were going to be an hour long, just goes to show we are very gullible people on the internet. We will believe everything or a lot of things without fact checking. I'm a little bit disappointed, but honestly I'm not surprised that it wasn't an hour long because, I mean, this is a new thing Marvel is doing. They're doing a TV show, like the MCU is doing a TV show, and not just, like, a movie. So obviously we're not gonna get, like, you know, like a Game of Thrones type over an hour long episode, because they don't want to give us a movie. They want to give us a TV show, an episode, so it's gonna be different from what we usually get in, the film universe. But I'm gonna go straight into my review, and right off the bat, one of the first notes I made was I kind of wish that the Marvel logo intro thing was like just a bunch of clips of like Catherine Hahn's Agatha Harkness, but they did end up changing the red color to purple, so that wasn't bad. The second thing is I was very happy that Agatha isn't actually able to mind control Wanda, because that would have been such like a waste. Like, oh, this witch is very easily able to like control the Scarlet Witch, but no, instead we got to see a little blast from the past for Agatha, and everyone that said that she was there during the Salem witch trials, they all deserve a pat on the back, and that's all because at the end of the day, if you get your theory right, the only thing you get out of it is like happiness. It's not as though you actually get any monetary gain, but I am very happy that they did go down the whole Salem witch trials type of route, and it was actually witches persecuting Agatha and not just people. The one thing is, Agatha's mom is a bit of a bitch. Like, I mean, granted, I did see, like, comments about how when Agnes was revealed to be Agatha, her, like, acting kind of went, like, over the top, like, dramatic, ha ha ha, I'm the villain type of acting, which I do kind of agree. I think I like the whole sitcom, like, persona a little bit more than, like, the I am the big bad persona. The point I'm trying to get across is that even though she's, like, now in, like, her big bad type of personality, when we got the flashback, her emotions seemed genuine. It actually seemed like Agatha wanted to, like, learn how to control her power, but her mom was like, no, you're gonna die instead. But turns out they all died instead, so, they got a little bit fucked over. And straight into that, I'm very, very happy that we got to see, like, different, Wanda in, like, different stages of her life. Granted, they were basically all different grief stages of her life, which is very, like, traumatic and sad to see, especially with, the fact that Wanda is probably one of the most, like, heartbroken, traumatized character of all in the MCU. The only other, like, characters I can think of, like, at the same level would be Thor and probably Iron Man, but granted, they're their own characters. You are able to compare the three together, but people handle their grief in different ways, and that's very clearly shown throughout the MCU, so you don't have to be like, oh, but this character did it this way. That's because they're a different person, and they could be older or younger. Their mental capacity could be completely different, and I do want to actually mention one thing now that I'm talking about, like, mental capacity. I'm a little bit upset that they changed Wanda's age from being in, her early 20s because they literally referred to her as a child. Steve called her a kid in Civil War. I believe Hawkeye referred to her like used to be like in high school or school. So the fact that she's now, I believe she's supposed to be 28 or 29, because technically she's like 33, but she was gone for 5 years in the snap, so she's more or less like 28, I believe. I'm just a little bit upset that they went that route, but it's okay. Obviously, it was most likely to make it more in line with the actress Elizabeth Olsen's real age, which is, I believe, early 30s. So now to talk about the couple of moments that we saw through Wanda's stages of grief. First of all, this show really loved to like break everyone's theories apart, like just crush them. Granted, I'm going to talk about this more in my episode 9 review, because I have seen episode 9 since I'm filming this late, but I will say we definitely theorized a little bit too much. At least a certain amount of viewers did that, to the point where it could have possibly like ruined your expectation of the show, or your overall like perception of like how you like it. Like maybe if you didn't over theorize, you would have liked us a lot more, but because like, at least for me, like I read so many theories, it ended up making me not like the show as much, because I'm like, yeah, I like what they went with, but they could have like done these like much cooler things. That's not the point though. The point is, yeah, the people in the commercials, those were not Wanda's parents. They were just random people, just part of the world. They were probably just some citizens being forced to be in a commercial. And seeing the whole like reason why they watch sitcoms and why Wanda loves it so much, and the fact that she watched it with her family is just so sad. And like when the explosion happened and everything, I was like, oh, this is a little bit too sweet. Like, what the fuck? And obviously it said that Wanda used a probability hex when the bomb didn't go off, because she was like, this is all just a bad dream. We're gonna wake up and it's gonna be like one of those funny sitcom moments, and then it never went off. So that was definitely an interesting aspect of Wanda's life to see as well. I like the fact that they didn't use the same child actors as they did in the flashback scene for I believe it was episode 7, the Halloween Malcolm in the Middle type of Halloween episode, where Pietro, or Fietro as they call him, referenced their like previous Halloween encounters back in old time Sokovia. I apologize for my butchered European accent, but they were just like fake people. I love the fact that it was fake, like fake children. They weren't even like how they actually looked, because everything is just literally like made up. So I love the fact that they played along with that and they didn't use the same child actors. And I also realized that in the flashback Halloween scene, Wanda's hair was red, and like, I don't know why I never noticed it before, but I do love all these small details that the show has. And granted, even though not all the theories were correct, a lot of the theories were incorrect, but it's still nice to see these small Easter eggs, and most of the things that people overly theorized on were just Easter eggs in the end. Now, the next scene that we got to see was Wanda actually being tested on by the Hydra workers, and that was just so cool how she went to the Mind Stone and then it blew up, and she saw herself. She like saw a vision of her future self, and obviously it's like the Scarlet Witch version, like she has the headpiece, everything. So that was really epic. there's not too much else about that scene that was really too intriguing. It was really just like the whole Mind Stone thing. So the next scene that we ended up getting is I believe it was set right after Age of Ultron because Civil War hasn't happened yet, and it's just Wanda watching a good old sitcom, Malcolm in the Middle. Bryan Cranston is now a part of the MCU, yes, but jokes aside, we got to see a really emotional and a really, really good scene between Wanda and Vision, and I loved it. I loved the line, what is grief but love persevering? Like, that is probably one of the best lines ever in the show. It was just, it's such a Vision line to have, and to like find out where exactly their connection started is really sweet. Like, to think about possibly Vision and Wanda connecting over sitcoms, just watching them together and binging it, it's just a really like cute thought to have. And even Agatha teared up a bit, and I don't think she's acting because she wasn't even looking at Wanda, and Wanda wasn't looking at her, so why would you need to keep up the charade if the person you're trying to trick isn't even looking at you? That's all I'm gonna say. Now, the final scene that we got to is how exactly the hex came to be. So, obviously we know that Hayward is a little bitch, and Wanda didn't steal the dead body. She's not parading around with Vision's revived corpse. There's another term for it, but I can't remember it. Yeah, she's not going on wacky sitcom shenanigans with it, but to see like how that happened, oh my god, like it was really interesting to see that happen. The one thing I have to say is, like, why was Hayward pushing Wanda so much? Like, it seemed like he was either trying to set her up, or obviously he wanted to see if, oh, everyone thinks that Wanda got her powers from the Mind Stone. I don't know if anyone, like, in the MCU currently knows that it just, like, triggered it. It made her more powerful, or just set it off. So I'm just gonna say at the moment everyone thinks it's the Mind Stone, so that could have been a reason why Hayward kept probing Wanda and being like, no, it's okay, just let her do that. And then like the I don't feel you scene, oh, that was a tearjerker. The one thing I have to say is I'm so pissed about the footage we saw in I think episode 4 of him making it look like Wanda broke in when she's like, she was allowed to do everything she did. He's just such an asshole. He's setting up this woman who is grieving. He is setting up this woman who is in so much grief because why the fuck not? Otherwise, when she got the to grow old Vision note, oh my god, I'm not sure if someone placed it there or if she had it this whole time, because it seemed kind of like odd, like out of nowhere, but she could have just had it this whole time. So seeing her go into the town and seeing all those like the normal citizens, how like sad and like depressing the area is, and then Wanda goes onto the plot of land that Vision supposedly bought for them to grow old in, even though technically he won't really grow old, it'll be Wanda, but that's not the point. Was really sad. It was a really sweet but sad scene, and when Wanda ended up doing like, I don't know how the fuck Elizabeth Olsen keeps doing these like scenes where she's like basically doing the Neo move from the Matrix and her back is so low. I'm like, fuck. Yeah, I hope you have a good physiotherapist because that looks like it would hurt. But the fact that she like unexpectedly made this and managed to make Vision out of herself from the piece of the Mind Stone that she had was just, wow. That was amazing. And the only other thing I'm going to say is at the very end of the episode, we finally know that she's called the Scarlet Witch. I was like, about fucking time. They mentioned it earlier in the show if Wanda had one of those nicknames, but they're like, nope, nothing. So we can finally call her the Scarlet Witch. I don't know if it's because Disney owns Fox now, or if they were able to call her that before but just didn't want to, but yes, that was exciting. And the whole end credit scene with the white Vision, wow, they managed to bring Vision back to life, but oh my god, they fucked Wanda over again because it's with the missile they tried to blow her up with and her children. Are you an idiot? I really don't like Hayward, if you couldn't tell. But yeah, I'm very excited to see what happens. Obviously, I know what happens, but since this is an episode 8 review, I can't say any spoilers for the next episode, the finale. But besides that, if you like this video, give it a huge thumbs up, subscribe to the button below, comment down if this was your favorite episode or if there's any specific scene that you really liked in episode 8. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.